diagnosed, and I just always felt really dumb. And by the way, I carried that with me throughout my life. I get really emotional when telling this story, and I think it's because I've never admitted in public that I thought I was dumb. In fact, I tried to hide it my whole life to make sure no one thought I was dumb. So I think that's why, even now, it brings out a lot. Yeah.
Amazing. Thank you for sharing that. And I think the more the time people spend trying to understand who you are and they read your book, they realize that there's a lot of you and Flynn,
Yes.
and of Flynn and you. So why don't you tell us a little bit about the origin story for this book?
So as you guys heard, I'm a pilot, and I was flying with my kids, and they were in the cockpit, and when we shut the door and we took off, we noticed that there was a fly inside the cockpit. And, I was like, oh, this poor fly got taken away from his family. And my kids were like, no, just think of all the things that this fly could see. It's going to go back home with all of these stories. And literally in that moment, you just say it flippantly. You're like, oh, that would make a great children's book. That was in 2016 that I had this idea. 2021, I write goals with my kids every year, and I'm trying to figure out what I'm doing. They're all making their goals, and my son Evan goes, Mom, why don't you finish that book? Start writing that book you want to write. And I go, okay. And once you say it out loud to your kids, you better get it done, because you're the example. And so I got it done. I literally wrote it in about 6 months, and then found an illustrator, and then tried to find a publisher. That is not easy, and kind of went from there.
And what an illustrator you found.